Okay, people. Now, y'all really have a problem on your hands. And I'm going to tell you why. I had a number of colorful dreams last night coming from my father. And probably one that really stuck out had to do with like a bunch of white men who basically were going at it with one another, trying to get at this one man. And they couldn't get at that one man because that one man just took everything they threw at him. And I said, now, Father, why would you send me such a dream? Now, I'm sitting there bearing witness to all this. And the people, at first, they could not see me, but then they saw me watching all this go down. And they were having a problem because it was like, well, you did. I no, 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 no. I didn't do that to you. You might want to go back to what you was doing because that's what you was doing and you were seen doing it. So they had to go back to what they was doing. And then there were other people, who were not necessarily from around here who wanted to participate too. But they didn't feel like they had that kind of reach. Oh, but they did. And then they started chiming in too. Now, let me tell you what the dream meant. Because it was very pornographic. This was on the eve of Michael Cohen's testimony. Now, I noticed that the Republicans was wanting to shut down the hearing before it even got started. Not like happened with the Democrats and Kavanaugh, but they didn't have the votes or the clout. And it was like, oh, no, 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 we're going to do this. And they did. So now they're on the receiving end as far as the Democrats giving them tit for tat what they received. And you know this. And everybody done dug in their heels. And everybody talking about, these aren't the rules and blah, blah this and blah, blah that. I said, oh, no, these are the rules. As enacted by you in prior sessions. You wanted us to just play the same game. So we playing it. I don't understand what the problem is. And then before this man, Michael Cohen, even gave his testimony, they had to swear him in. And he did take the oath to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help him God. Now, the first thing you want to do is sit there and say that man's a liar. That's not a problem. But he did work for somebody who we know lies. So, don't liars hang together thick as thieves until somebody gets caught and they supposed to just take the bullet for the team? No. That ain't getting ready to happen. See, I'm trying to shed a little more light on what's going on that you don't seem to want to get. You violated every one of God's laws, including the fact that you started declaring yourself to be gods. Again, false gods. Because, all your psychic advisors and stuff have been basically perpetuating that mentality, that myth, that mythos again. You go around calling yourself gods and goddesses. Goddess energy. Come on now. And at the same time, you're criminals. You've all been criminals for a long time because you're always doing something that's questionable. Just like that man who bought all those Girl Scout cookies. Now, he did a nice thing. And I did point out, I said, I was trying to post that link the first time when I saw it. I said, oh, that's so nice that he did that. But that link would not post. I kept getting an error message. I said, well, I guess I can go out on the internet and see if I can find another link that might upload, but it's not that important. Because that was just one kind gesture. And then what happens today? I see that man was a criminal. He's a drug trafficker and stuff. Nobody knew who he was on social media. The Girl Scouts didn't know who he was. But the drug enforcement people did. And now they done arrested his ass with cash and drugs and all kind of stuff. And he gave them girls $500 some for all their cookies so they could get out of the cold. Question is, are they giving that money back? See, I posted that link, and I posted that question. Now, Miss Maggie put up an angry emoji card. Now, I saw that, and I was like, well, you have every right to be angry, but you need to understand something, too, about it's not enough just to be angry. Because, see, everybody's dirt is at home to roost. Because that's what my father did. This is what y'all didn't understand when I was trying to explain to you that my father was having me bring shit through and upload it into the collective consciousness. It was your shit. Everything that you have had him to bear witness to and he has forgiven you for you to learn better. Until you started declaring yourself to be gods and good people when you know damn well you're not. You can't even get along. Jussie Smollett may be wrong for having staged a hate crime, but that doesn't mean he has not been victimized as both a black and a gay man in this country. And nobody took anything that happened to him seriously. Just like they didn't take anything serious when it comes down to that man who is a Democratic donor who done had 2 gay men hooked on drugs die in his home. And the DA here don't want to press charges. That people have to go in the streets and petitions to try and petition to get somebody to give justice where it's due. Oh, the Chicago police, they hurried up to build a case against Jussie Smollett. Talking about you ain't gonna make us look stupid. You've been looking stupid anyway. For all the crime that's going on in your neck of the woods. You even got the president sitting there talking about how outpaced you are in mass murders. Out of all these cities in the United States. Y'all cannon fodder. You just don't like it. So as I'm listening to the Mueller investigation, my father sent me a vision where, I was leaving the studio. Because this was all stuff he produced for you all to see and live through. I told you, we're not going to like the roles you were cast in. You were not going to like the light you were cast in. And as hard as you try to extricate yourself from shit, first and foremost, you got to admit to everything that you have been doing and how much you have been doing that has gone against somebody else. And that's hard to do, given that your standard defense is, well, I didn't do it. You did it. And I'm doing God's work because now I have to address the shit in you because you ain't fit to live. That's a hard sell against somebody who sees you in that same light, don't you think? And I told you to stop praying in my name because you put all that shit on Jesus too. Now, you might sit there and say, and I already told my I say, these people are stupid. I'm not taking calls. And I'm not taking messages. I'm not taking private readings. I'm not taking anything. Not from any of you. Especially when most of those phone calls are spamming and phishing and trying to get information. My information. To try and tap into my shit. No, we ain't doing that. I will deliver messages as my father wants me to, as he sees fit. But you will have to sift through all this minutia that is yours across the entire political spectrum. Where your money goes, how it's spent, the fact that you are allowing for people to be victimized in the church. Now you finally got your Pope to speak out against pedophilia in the church and say that the vengeance and the wrath of God and fire and brimstone needs to come down on any bishop or cardinal who has participated so. But Is that too little, too late? And when did he finally come to that realization? And why did he take so long to address it? Because last I checked, he didn't just get in that office. There had to be such a cry from the land that he had to address it. And you ain't all in agreement on exactly how it needs to be dealt with. Because some of you are still smart behind that shit. And you ain't in a forgiving mood. So you're not really Christ-like. And you're definitely not in a forgiving mood that you say God is going to accept. So how you going to work out this shit with these people? And how you going to get through to people who don't want to hear your arguments? Defending that nonsense. Because you didn't listen to them when they were going through it the first time. You didn't want to hear it. Probably because you already had a hand in it too. Just like R. Kelly. And his brother talking about, well, you know, he was victimized growing up just like I was. And he ain't built for jail. He should have thought about that before he went ahead and turned into a perpetrator. I told you, none of y'all gonna like y'all story. And you don't need to try and take it out on me. Because I didn't do it. You did. I told you, you pissed God off. The only God there is. The only reason why Christ came through the Jews was because they already had an understanding that there was a singular God in consciousness. And they had received the Ten Commandments and more. But still weren't acting right amongst themselves. Much less anybody else they were dealing with. Christ started a new church. Trying to help people see how we were all interconnected. When my father started waking me up, the first thing he said to me was, this is not about you starting another church. That thought never crossed my mind, but I can tell you who has been trying to start another church and movement. Your psychics and spiritual advisors and more. Mediums. Sylvia Brown tried to start a church. That didn't go anywhere. Her people that were following her say you should do a church. Because they just believed in her shit so strongly. Lisa Williams tried to start a church. That shit fell on flat ears too. She back doing readings. Touring. Teaching you how to do the shit. I'm going to tell you right now, you really might want to get away from that shit real quick. Because if you really think Spirit has got your back, who do you think turned you in? Who do you think told your secrets? They gathered information on you. They didn't like being slave labor anymore. Then you, yourself, want to be slave labor in life. And you were living better. And they know what the world was becoming. And they was going to have to be reborn into that shit. Baby, that was warfare. You really thought you had an ally when you didn't. I know how Spirit is. I know who they are over there. I know the ones I like. I know the ones, well, you know, I don't worry about them anyway because they can't touch me. I will tell them where to go. And they will leave. Because they have to. I don't work for them. I work for God, my Father. And He trumps them all. They can't tell me shit. Just like you can't tell me shit either. You can tell me what you learned, and I can tell you if it's going to go anywhere. I told you, you ain't going to like me. I have had to develop what you call a thicker skin. Oh, don't think I still don't feel sorrow and, you know, pain for people. I don't want to see people lose their little dogs and shit. Or horses end up dying because of abuse. I don't want to see animals unnecessarily fattened up just to be slaughtered in inhumane ways. But I'm not going to tell somebody they can't have a piece of chicken. Because I like a piece of chicken. You have a hard sell. Not just with me, but with my Father. So you have no idea what He's gone over with me. And if I, like I said, don't understand something, I ask Him first. I'm not going to sit there and just tell you willy-nilly. So I think they just took a break or something because I went to get a cup of coffee. Because that shit was just fun as. I'm like listening to these people go back and forth and who was saying what and how the Democrats were basically, we appreciate your bravery. And the Republicans is like, you're just a liar. You're just a liar. And you have no credibility. And did you do this and did you do that? And I'm like, when the pot calls the ghetto black, that shit is funny as hell. And everybody tries to pile on. All you're doing is setting yourself up for kindling. Because this shit is going to come to light. All of it. And your hand in it. And all those little parties you went to that you paid your $500 to $5,000 and more just to have it your way is not going to be to your liking when everything is said and done. Because Donald Trump, when he showed that table of all that fast food that he served to those football players, those college athletes, and I know my father has sent me a shitload of dreams talking about McDonald's and Burger King and Wendy's and pizza. And then sometimes he just showed me a table full of just desserts. He was getting ready to serve y'all. And you weren't going to like it. And I don't think any of you do. Because you don't know where you stand with him. You just know you're going through some shit. I suggest you start praying real hard to say, show me how I can make it right with you. Because I already know your son don't give a fuck. Because we put him through enough. Because he had to bring the shit through. And didn't care. And he lost his shit. And he waiting for you to give it back to him. Because we didn't do it. Yeah. Mostly it's for him. But it's for me too. Because I shouldn't have hung on a cross. Not because of y'all asses wanted to continue a way of life that didn't help serve anybody but you. So you, and you, and you, and you. And then the people learned how to scam a system, and then they wanted to be in on it too. So I suggest you stop pointing fingers and stop really doing a really deep cleanse and self-reflection. And stop thinking that your advice that you're offering another is going to be an absolute state for you. Because you're still performing out of your league. Those people, when they were under your tutelage and your care, did not get the proper care. And you, sitting there doing a fucking psychic reading on them, or a mediumship reading, is not helping them. If they need a place to sleep, I suggest you offer them one. If they need some food, I suggest you make sure they get it. And if they need health care, I suggest you work on that too. I suggest you work on a lot of things and stop sending up prayers and thinking you send an angel somewhere. Because you don't know what you're sending. But we do. You think about that shit. And enjoy the rest of the testimony. Or whatever they decide to broadcast. Because the shit is hysterical. And it is off the chain. And Donald Trump can veto and fight all he wants all the way up to the Supreme Court. But before everything is said and done, a lot of shit gonna be exposed. And anything that you don't fix is still gonna continue to bite you in the ass. Capiche? Have a nice day.